So this is week 1 of this project that we're breaking ground. This is the second day. The guys were here yesterday dropping off the machines, taking elevations, and this is the second day of work. You can see how much work they got done in 2 days. So right there with the big boxes, that's going to be our spa. That spa is going to be raised 3 feet off the elevation of the pool, and then we're going to have steps coming on this way, and then a deck, well, another deck level at the pool area. I'm sorry, steps coming down to a deck at the same level the pool is, and then another set of steps coming down to a lower area here where I want to show later on, I guess, if the homeowner approves. But so this is the wall of the pool. There's going to be more steps going down to the yard. But here, because of this big tree over here, and we don't want to cut any branches, we put a shower room on the left of the staircase going to the backyard. And our challenge here will be run sewer lines to the septic, which is on the other side of the pool. So that's why we gotta get ahead of the game and try to get all our approvals. We can see here the radius curve where the pool is gonna be and how the guys dug all this. But here's our septic. So worst case scenario, if we cannot send a drainage pipe that way and then this way with a natural slope, we're more likely gonna have to send it somehow with a sump pump or something so we can get our drainage to the septic. Our pool is gonna come out all the way to the orange line, so you can see how the guys were digging the ground for the footing for the beam of the pool. It's gonna be a pretty decent sized pool, and if I'm not mistaken, you can see how high it's gonna be. You can see the string, well, you might not be able to see it, but the string goes up to the top of that 2x4 that runs like this. That's how high the pool is gonna be. On the design that we have for the rest of the area over here, they have a pretty big lot, as you can see. So on our design, we have a planter bed, raised bed, so that way the pool wall is not too exposed, it's not too big. They can put some shrubs, and nobody's wanting to jump down because we designed a dog run / artificial turf area over here that can be fenced in, and then the staircases keep going that way, and more or less before that cedar tree over there we can do a pickleball court / tennis court. They can put basketball goals, but it'll be kind of hard to, if the ball rolls down the hill or whatever. But this is gonna be more or less where we can put that court over here, which is pretty flat. All these areas pretty hilly, but this is pretty flat. We can work with it, removing this tree. Seems like the construction guys did a path over there. I'm assuming this path was dug for the septic sprayers, so they're far away from the house. You can see here there is one right there. There is a pipe all the way there sticking up, which means there is another spray over there. The goal here is to not remove all these trees. So so we can have privacy from the neighbors going this way. I believe the guy's already done with the majority of the excavation work. I don't think they need to go that deep over here. Oh yeah, maybe they need to go deep over here. The only reason why they haven't dug all this is because they need access. So all this, it's gonna get filled. The guys are over there on the front bagging gravel bags, so we can see how this is gonna be a pretty large pool. Not large, but have a footing all the way around, and then that's gonna be our skimmer box. Our spa is gonna be flush with the patio up there, and we're gonna have steps from the patio going to this level right here, and from, I believe, this corner right here, we're gonna step down to another lower deck area down there, and then we're gonna have steps going down to the yard. We have our sun shelf right here. I believe that's probably their mark for where to bring the gravel up. Whew. So yeah, they still need to bring the gravel all the way up to there. Yeah, so they still have, I believe, yeah, for the sun shelf. We have a 6-inch sleeve for utilities, and the reason why is our electrical box is right there. We also have water, and we also have the septic on the other side of the forms, but we're working right now on finalize everything for an outdoor bathroom that is going to have an outdoor shower. It's not going to be fully outdoor, but it's going to be up here where you have a sink if you want to wash yourself, and also it has like a little partition that you can go in there into a shower and a toilet, and we're gonna have hot water there. So right, all these cedar trees will be knocked down, but we're only gonna have, I believe, 5 feet between the pool and that shower restroom. I'll go through here. It's right here with the cedar trees. It's where more or less, and the reason why is originally I have placed it somewhere over here, but the height of the roof will touch this oak tree, and I wanted to keep all the trees intact so that we get privacy from the neighbors. Right here is where it will sit, so we need to get sewer that way, and right about there, worst case scenario, if we need to go up, we put like a little shredder pump in that room so it can pump everything. It's just gonna be used whenever there's somebody outside, and the shower can actually be draining out. It could be just for the toilet, and we're gonna tap hot water and cold water from here. You can see the sink right there to the left of the grill. We're gonna open that wall, bring our hot and cold, and we can go that way. Yeah, still working on that. Right below the pool, there's a big area with artificial turf, and then below that, there's the idea of having a sports court that they can use for pickleball or tennis. I don't know about basketball, but they can use it for a bunch of different stuff. Yeah, this is the end of the first week. You can see how much progress we have done right now. So the guys are already here. We're doing all the framing work for the shower room, I believe. See how they're going. We have all the travertine for the patio. Oh, there you go. You can hear.
¿Qué tal?
¿Qué ole? ¿Cómo estás?
Ahí va, mira.
Ahí va. Ya.
¿Cómo lo ves?
Bien, bien. ¿Le ganaste al de la madera? ¿Que quitaran la madera?
¿Cómo?
¿Le ganaste al de la madera?
Si quieres también tenemos 4x4 para ponerlo aquí.
Porque te los dejaron donde estaban estos.
Sí, exactamente. Lo dejaron en la pura orilla como ese. Era el único que me funcionó casi de todos. No sé.
Pues ahí si quieres mandarnos al plomero.
Sí, sí,
para,
no, sí, para que venga el carajo.
Para que sea del mismo, no sé qué tanto.
No, pues ya conocen de este, sí, para no.
The planter beds. They already start working on the planter boxes over here. And they are gonna be working on the concrete deck now. Coming back. So this is what I was saying. It's gonna be kind of hard to avoid anybody to walk over here because there is still a path. But on that curve, where it's a little bit taller, that way we're gonna have a buffer. So anybody gets to jump or get on it to drive in, they don't feel motivated to do it. So right now what they're doing is they're cutting the pieces. They're gonna be on the face of the steps. So later on they can just do the tread, the top of it. And of course, correction on this main area that I have talked about before. Shower room, we're gonna have a sink right in here. And I was thinking to put like a barn door style door if they want some type of privacy. Right on the wall, we have some type of lighting so they can turn on and off. More likely, we can have a motion sensor light. So whenever somebody goes in, you don't need to worry about turning lights on and off, especially because the whole idea is somebody's using the pool, they're gonna come over here with their feet wet instead of going inside of the house. We're gonna follow the same decking, travertine all the way in over here and to the inside of it, where we're gonna have a shower down here, and then the toilet is gonna be right here. So if somebody needs to change, if somebody needs to use the WC, somebody needs to rinse, get a quick shower, we have hot and cold water over here. They can do it. Ponte, subiste para conectar la extensión. Ya esos ya le van a decir las tapas, ya no tiene que andar midiendo. Porque es más, no tiene sentido que mida, porque si le queda un 8 o un cuarto, es mejor que le quede derecha con la tapa.
Sí.
I really like this project. The design is amazing. The homeowners are amazing. They're great people. They're open to suggestions. They get their own personal touch on the design, and then everybody's on the same page, and they're exceptional people. That's why I wanted to take good care of them. We're also just doing a few changes to the equipment as far as not much as far as changes, but just upgrades. Which we have everything here as far as actuators, valves, and all that. We don't have a date for the plaster to be scheduled yet because we're still doing a lot of work. Again, those planter boxes that they started on the other side, they're gonna come around here. All this is gonna get built up. We're gonna work around the tank, the septic tank. Gotta leave that. So that is an opening, a clean out service for the shower room that we did, and that is for the main house. So this needs to be accessible for regular maintenance, but also we don't want to see this from the pool area and the artificial turf area. So this is gonna be a little bit hidden from the back to this way. They don't care too much about the front appearance because what's coming next is once we finish all the aggressive work, the heavy work on the backyard, they want to fence the whole property. And the plan is to do a masonry wall right here, the same as on the other side of the house. So a masonry wall to give him privacy with a metal gate that is a screen that you cannot see through. So you can see we have quite a few materials and some fill that we have to bring in. I think they open the split face for this. Okay, so I think this split face is not the one that they pick. I need to check that with Paul, the super. I just realized that right now. It may not be the one that they picked. Double check on that. We're gonna have one light over here so it can shine that way and this way. We're not gonna have any lights on the ceiling. And we have the ceiling floating on top of this, so we don't need to have any type of vents or anything like that. This is not for it to be another casita or anything like that. It's just so they can use the restroom to change, to shower, to use the toilet, to wash their hands, instead of going all the steps and then going across the kitchen to the powder room all the way wet with a swimsuit wet or feet wet with the risk of falling. And then we're gonna do standing seam metal roof like that one, and then the ceiling is gonna be stained the same color. Big pool. There we go. So get an idea of the size. It's pretty comfortable size. What they're talking right now is about doing retaining walls where we're gonna have step downs on the hill so we can have planter beds like over here. You can see the neighbor's house so they can hang out down here, with some shrubs that eventually will grow, and with the help of this, that way it's private. You don't need see or you don't hear your neighbors as much. And for the shower, here are connections. We're taking hot and cold water from the house.